Hello, friends. If you've been following along this journey, Mark, Hunter, and Bennett went on a 7-day moose hunt. They came home a few days early because Hunter and Bennett got a moose. Bennett's first moose, Hunter's second moose, I think. I have still yet to hear the full story of how they got their moose because we've been so busy nonstop. They didn't have communication while they were out there other than satellite communication. And then since they've been home, we've just been like going. And then the minute that we stop, we fall asleep. You can take all of your moose meat to a processor. Our favorite one here in Alaska is called Indian Valley Meats. In the past, we have used them to make a few things like sausage or moose bacon or teriyaki sticks, but we do all of our processing ourselves now. Now, we've always done the processing of cutting it down. We just used to take it to them to do some little projects. But you can take your whole moose there. There are several different meat processors around town that you can take your moose to, or whatever game meat you have, but it is very expensive. And, sometimes it's just nice to take care of your own meat because 1, you can, and 2, then you know exactly what's happened to the meat and you can take really good care of it. So they work really, really hard out in the field to keep the meat nice and clean. Get it home in game bags. We swap it out for clean game bags when they get home, and then we just start processing the meat. It's cool enough outside that we can keep it outside. This moose hunt was a little bit different. They had to use an air transport company to get the meat back from their hunt. So they got back 2 days ago. Their moose meat arrived this morning along with all of their gear, pretty much all of their gear. They brought a few things home with them on the airplane, but the moose meat arrived. So Mark has headed off to go pick up meat, and then we'll begin doing the processing this afternoon. He's also going to drop some off at his parents'. We are sharing half of a moose with them so that they don't have to go moose hunting this year. So we're grateful that we got 2 so that we could share. We used up all of our moose meat from last year, and really over the last probably month and a half, 2 months, we've really held back on what we were eating and just tried to eat a lot of fish, and because we just didn't have a lot of moose meat left and you kind of don't want to run out too soon. So we really used up all of 1 moose. We're probably a 1.5 moose family at this point, just as we get teenage boys and things. Not that we'll get 2 moose every year. We can make 1 work, but we did have the opportunity to get 2 this year, and we're very grateful to have that to fill the freezer for the year ahead.
Everett and Violet and I are heading into town to pick up the meat. I got a call this morning that our 1,200 pounds of moose meat has been delivered from the freighter, so we're heading to pick it up. There comes our first, that's our pallet, one of our pallets. Oh man, gotta push it all the way back. When they loaded this meat in here, this whole truck just went whew. There is so much gear. And we got the horns. See if I can get this back closed up and head on home. First stop with all this meat is Grandma and Grandpa Hamm's house. We're gonna give them half of one of these moose. Some are kind of dirty than another, but we kept it. We did the best we could with the meat. I think we did a pretty good job. Okay, can I hand you these? These are Hunter's horn. Just set them on the ground there. Like.
So that's the first one?
Second one. Can you, I don't know if you can just support that side at all? Okay, probably ate it. I can get this whole thing now. Where do you want it? Pretty sure this is the second one. So this is
right here. That's an old ladder. We inherited that with the house.
Did you? Hear that? Okay. Come help me.
Or maybe we...
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh man, I get making a mess of myself. see what this is. Okay, yeah, this is burger, and it has the brisket in it too. You'll probably notice which one that is. This is burger. It's good feeling to have all this meat and horns finally back at the house. Let's get unloaded and go show Mom.
Moose butchering time has come. Mark went and picked up the stuff from the cargo company. This is their gear on the bottom. There's some moose antlers up there. He stopped at his parents' house and dropped off some meat. Whose antlers are these?
Those are Hunter's antlers.
Hunter's antlers. Ooh, those are really nice. That's a really nice little spread. And then this box is full of moose meat. Want to have a cheese stick? Sounds good.
There was like, when we loaded all this stuff in the truck, it just went. It was so much weight. You weren't where you. There you go.
Wow.
Here, Bennett, come check them out.
You say this one's 50 and this one's
We don't know.
45?
The boys want to find out.
Oh.
We haven't measured them.
Okay. I think this one is a little further out.
No, it's not.
No?
44. Wait. No, what about now?
44.
Wait, no, Hunter, that one's farther. No, you got it. It's like a box, the furthest out.
I know, that one's way farther.
Yeah, so you get right here, and that goes where? 46? I need something to go straight up from here.
It's 46.
46.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Let's check out this one. 51.
No. 52.
52. That's nice, Bennett. Hunter, really nice moose.
Both of them are beautiful.
Yeah. This was really nice too. It's got the nice brow tines. Nice.
Then how many brown tines does that one have? Two?
Well, you look at it. You got 1, 2, 3, and you count the most on one side.
So they both have 3.
Yeah. And these are like a giant claw, though. I mean, those are just.
So as you probably gathered, meat processing is a family affair around here. The older boys are all at cross country running right now, or they would continue to be helping, but we're just plugging along, making sure we get as much done as we can. Until we get exhausted, then we clean up and we'll do it all again tomorrow. If you've seen my previous videos, I did not grow up hunting. So when we first started harvesting moose, I had no idea what we were doing when we were processing the meat.
Ooh, that's a rib.
We should make some bacon.
Well, feed it down in there.
What bacon? Bacon?
You got to turn it on first.
My kids, on the other hand, have been doing this since they were very little, and we all have the jobs that we kind of gravitate towards. We also have jobs that are better for different age groups. I love doing all the packaging, so that tends to be the job that I choose. I am using this sausage stuffer and filling these little bags. Weston labeled them Moose Burger. We used to do 1-pound bags. We have upgraded to these 2-pound bags of meat because our kids are getting bigger. We use this for hamburgers, spaghetti, tacos, anything that you would use ground beef for, we use ground moose. So 2-pound bags are what we need now to make a meal for our family. And doing it in the sausage stuffer is the most simple way that we found for filling up these bags. It just gets all the air out so that the meat stays nicer longer. Mark's parents have always butchered and processed their own meat, and they were great examples to us over the years of just getting everybody involved. They typically help us with our moose meat processing, but they are home processing their own meat as Grandma recovers from surgery. You're so sweet.
We're in varsity?
Everett decided to make himself a fresh moose burger. This is actually round number 2 because he liked number 1 so much.
Good. I have to season it myself though.
Fresh meat.
This is the heart of the moose.
This is about bigger than your head. Yeah, some people don't keep it, but it actually is really good to eat. We're gonna cut it up and mix it in with our burger.
What?
Yeah, this goes in with the burger. Fine.
Whoa, it's like weird looking. It kind of looks like brains and stuff.
That's a giant pump.
This is helping clean all the blood out.
So my recommendation is just cut it in half first, like this way, and then we can cut it. So here, maybe turn it this way, cut it in half.
Oh, this is not that hard to cut. Actually.
No, it's a different kind of muscle. It's a little softer. Time to take the first load of ground meat over. These have to be 40 pounds or more each. Okay, can you load it up in the wagon? Thank you. Okay, let me help you. All right. Okay, I've got the meat wagon here. Taking it out to our outside freezer. Out here by our shed, we have all the horns from all the past years. The boys were looking at them and seeing how their horns stack up. They're not quite as big as Mom's biggest moose back over here, but still, the boys got some really good moose. We've shot a few big moose over the years, but really, we hunt for meat. And so, here's all the meat hanging that we have left. We've got 6 legs here, front legs, back legs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then another big one, because one of these is full of steak from one of the entire moose. So we have so much meat to still process. Oh man, how are we gonna do this? Okay, we're gonna just start filling up the freezer here. Time to go get some more. Just for size, like this is a back leg here. That's probably about 110 pounds or something. This is a front leg here. It's got a little more bone and structure. That's probably about 90 pounds. These are big pieces of meat. So Hunter, we can do that back leg. All right, there you go. Okay, I'll put this in the wagon. Oh, there we go.
Okay, I'll hold it
down. Need a flat spot. I guess I can do it here. So some like butcher places, do they just give you like meat? Random people meat? Yeah, a lot of places they don't commit that they're gonna give you the same meat.
I know hunting and processing meat is not for everybody, but there is just something so beautiful about working together as a family, knowing where our food comes from, the kids knowing that they can help this whole process and be responsible for the food that is in our freezer. Violet and I are out here in the garage. We've got some roasts. I'm gonna use this vacuum sealer here. It's a chamber vacuum sealer that we borrowed to do some packaging down here. This thing is so heavy, we prefer just to transfer it into the garage when we bring it home, because going up the stairs, and there's a lot going on upstairs, it's nice just to have a little bit more room. Mama? Yeah? Change of plans. We're putting a pause on the vacuum sealer. We're just gonna make sure these stay cool overnight. We don't have the right size bags for this project, so we are going to revisit this tomorrow after visiting the butcher supply store. Gonna help me do that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Thankfully you can't reach any of the actual buttons. Not for babies. You can be in here, but you can't push it for me yet. Not quite big enough. 5-pound bags for making jerky later. Over the years, we've found a few shortcuts for ourselves, like bagging up 5-pound bags of meat we know that we'll want later for making dehydrated jerky, or putting bags of meat away and then canning it later. It is a lot of work to get this meat put away into the freezer, and we feel like it is better for us to do some of those projects of making different things later on. We try and make it easier for ourselves down the road. Goal number 1 is always just to get the meat put away as quickly as possible so that it doesn't go bad.
Well, after pretty much 12 hours of nonstop action, we're washing dishes. It's 9:30 at night, and trying to call it a close for today.
This one doesn't smell very much. This is the pineapple.
To me, that smells really strong. 10:30, the kitchen is clean. We're headed to bed exhausted. All right, we are off. We have cross-country racing this morning before we start meat processing, and we're gonna try and go to the butcher supply shop before the race.
Can you see like Majestic Peak and stuff?
We're seeing that the highest peaks around Eagle River have snow on them. It's coming.
Can you see like Majestic Peak and stuff?
What do you see? Oh, do you see the moose and the bear and the fish? Yeah? Okay.
What?
Oh, this is what we wanted.
No,
Hatch
we'll make it
green
later.
chili bratwurst.
Wait, are we making clear? Mom, don't
We're
you
gonna
like
make
that?
some corned beef. Different knives.
This one.
Interesting. Carving, bread, slicers, filleting, skinning, boning, butcher, and scimitars. Interesting. I've never been on this part of the store.
Look.
These are the knives I have for our
Steak knives.
steak knives. I like those knives.
Mom, look.
I think you do. I don't
That's
know.
why they have this.
Yeah.
You need to do what?
Just
Oh, this one.
it even has a cover so it doesn't go shooting out at you.
Or we could do 2 at once. Technically. Whoa, what do we want?
Something like probably 10 by 16. Yeah, that looks like a. Look at these giant cutting boards. That one's like 48 inches long. So have cut resistant gloves and fishing gloves. Utility aprons. Mark needs one of those. Sausage casings.
The time has come to turn this brisket into corned beef or corned moose. We really like to eat it that way. It's been a couple years since we did it. And I bought these cure packets. It comes with the seasonings and the curing salt. In the past, I've mixed this up myself, but for 10 bucks, it saves me a lot of hassle. I could cure it here in this plastic tote we have, but I also have these buckets that we used to have honey in. These are food safe buckets, and it makes it a lot easier. So for corned beef or corned moose, there is a curing process. It takes about a week. So we're gonna get started with it. I'll show you in a sec, here. Well, I'm making up the cure, Weston. So I have to take 1 gallon, and then when you're putting in this bucket, we're gonna see how much meat fits in there. Okay, Weston, so this is the curing salt. This is a sodium nitrate, and it helps stop bacteria. Be careful, pour it in there, mix it up. Just dump it in.
Is there water in there?
Not yet, just dump it in. We'll mix it all up.
Whoa.
Almost all curing salts are pink, and it helps with just knowing that you're getting the right kind of salt. It's really important. It helps impede the bacteria growth. Yeah. Open it, dump the whole thing in.
Look, there's still salt in here.
So the sodium nitrate does the curing, and then this is the flavor here. You can just dump all the... No, it's different, like
wow.
fennel or mustard seed and other stuff.
Mustard.
Okay, we're gonna take 1 of these. Pour it in. We need do one more. Okay, now that we have the brine mixed up, I just take these big pieces of brisket, and we've already cleaned them and trimmed them, and I'm going to stick them down into this brine. And then what we do is I'll just have to keep an eye on this, and every day or so I'll stir it and mix it. And the idea is that those salts and the spices are slowly soaking in from the outside in, and you want it to be fully penetrating this meat. There we go. Now, I'm just going to put the lid on this. We're going to keep it somewhere cool and let it do its thing for the next week or so. Okay, it's finally cold enough out right now so I can put this on the porch, and it will be good for, about the 7 days it's going to take to cure this. Just got to keep it out of the sun, and I'll stick it kind of back here and keep an eye on it.
Why do we have to keep it out of the sun?
Because I want to keep it from not getting hot. It's been getting down to the low 30s at night. They're not quite frosting, so that should be good enough. All right, time to reload the meat supply and go grab another front leg. So the front legs and the back legs have definitely different types of cuts. The back legs are a lot of you get a lot of steaks, sirloins, and really nice kind of slow cook roasts out of those. The front leg is more burger meat, pot roast, and that's what we're working on right now. If I can get this down. Without any help. Oh, jeez. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, well, in the field, we put all the meat in these game bags. And that's kind of the primary purpose is to keep this meat clean, because when you're butchering out in the field, I mean, there's dust and mud. And then also, it also keeps the flies and other type of stuff, so it's not on there. If you didn't have this on here, you'd have flies laying eggs, and your meat would be contaminated.
And it does
Try not to hit on the
it makes
you pull that down for me.
less of a mess too.
Yeah.
And and you can hang it someplace a lot easier.
How big this is, Everett.
So this is huge.
This is a big front leg here. So this is a front leg. The shoulder blade is right here. You've got kind of the knee here. This would be its quad and its calf or the shank.
Where's the thigh? Right here?
Yeah, this would be the thigh, like right in here. And it can be really intimidating when you first see this. But what I learned from my dad is you just kind of start slowly working away, picking away the different big muscle groups. And before long, you got to take it apart.
When Mark cuts these pieces of meat off of the bone, we then clean it up.
Take off all the fat.
Take off any of the really big fat and sinew stuff, and then remove any little pieces of hair that might be on it. And then
There's a lot of fat.
cut it into pieces to be able to grind it.
Or this other stuff.
We are now going to measure out 25 pounds of meat to make Italian sausage with. We got a spice mix for that, so we got to get the right amount.
So what I need to, you put it in here and measure it.
I always hear this.
It's not going to fit. It's going to cover, I don't think it's going to work. I want it to fit right here. Okay, I think I'm going to bring in the last front shoulder now. It's smaller than those other ones.
You can go up to 15.
So do you could do 12.8 or something.
Another one, like a handful. You're at 10, 9, there you go, okay. Okay, that's it, and now you need to do that again. Hold on, Violet, stay here. Daddy will be right back. Sweet.
You're not allowed to have milk in a bottle anymore.
Just sit nice.
Where did we get these?
In the mail in that box. Well, you took almost everything else with you.
you bring a fork or something to kind of mix this in? Yeah, pretty good. There's some sugar. Add a little bit of this. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stir. Just kind of mix it.
Seems like a lot of sugar.
You stick just a little meat in here. Stir it up. Get it all out. All right. Thanks, Bennett. You're doing a great job. Just kind of pull stuff from the bottom and up underneath and just try and mix it. See, like here, there's some spices that are, break up any spices you see.
Did you like that thing?
The Italian sausage got mixed up, so now I am bagging it up. This is great for spaghetti, meatballs, things like that.
So you left after the
Violet wants to help with this machine. Ready? Hold it, Violet. Hold this right here. Ready? It's gonna start coming. That part's dangerous. You have to just hold this part down here. You do that part. Good job. Used to have a little trick to getting this stuff out, and I don't remember what it is. There we go. Thank you for helping. You did a good job.
We made the rookie mistake by leaving our stuff.
All right, we've got a back leg here. This is the biggest piece of meat.
So much meat. This is the sirloin here. You've got the top of the round and the round to the shank. This will all get ground up. This stuff can be made into like a roast for the Traeger. This we make steaks out of a lot of this. Tri-tip, round steak. Oh, they're huge though.
T-bone?
So this is number one of
3.
3. You gave one of these to Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
So all the front legs are done. We just have 3 back legs. Yep.
And then the steak bag.
Yep. Which I need to probably pull the heart out of.
We've got some big hunks of meat here from that back leg. And then Bennett has started cutting different steaks over here. These are tri-tip steaks. They're kind of in the shape of a triangle. That's why they're called tri-tip. And then this is a gigantic steak. What is that going to be, hun?
That's the round. So it's going to be steaks and roasts.
This will be my week of food.
And then we're continuing to just grind any extra little pieces.
Now we have both of the moose tongues. And these are big. But some people say,
really
ooh, you
rough.
know, that's gross. But we really like the taste of the moose tongue. First off, we're just going to rinse them off and clean them off really good. And so we get the next step. Here we can see.
Oh, and Tracy.
There we go.
So happy. What?
Bennett's bigger bowl has a little bit bigger tongue. What we need to cure the tongues is some salt, brown sugar, and liquid smoke. Put the tongues in this bag here. We got the tongues in here. We're gonna stick 1 cup of salt. We're gonna do 1 cup of brown sugar. And then we stick some liquid smoke, 4 tablespoons.
Has this rounded Avalon been changed?
Yeah. Now we just massage this salt and other stuff in, and it's gonna start pulling out all the juices. We're gonna stick this in the fridge for about a week and let that just cure right there, and then we'll be able to cook it up.
We picked up these bigger bags for the chamber vacuum sealer, 10 by 16. Got a whole tote full of pot roasts here. I even lift this, I don't know. Ooh, yeah. Just making a few bags to make sure I have an assessment of like what size we have in here. If they're too small, we might want to combine 2 smaller roasts. When we make a pot roast, I like to have leftovers because usually we can make a very simple pot roast and then we can eat it a second time with like barbecue sauce on it. So it's okay if it's bigger. I don't want it to be too small. First one didn't work, so I got to play around with the adjustments. It sealed it, but it did not vacuum seal it, so let's try again. Looked like it worked that time. Yep, that one did what it needed to. Forgot I need to write on these bags before I put meat in them, or they're kind of hard to write on. I will never claim to know where all the cuts of meat are on a moose, but I am really good at getting everything packaged. So I take great pride in getting this part done so that Mark can cut up all the meat. There we go. All right, here's a tub full of roasts, ready to go to the freezer. Time to go package steaks. Got 3 different types of steaks here. Boys are gonna bring down some other ones. I feel like a server at a restaurant, carrying the tray. And then Bennett's bringing down some more dry roasts. Thank you.
I'm gonna go get another leg, okay?
Okay. As I package up all this moose meat, I do it with such a grateful heart because this is the food that's going to feed our family for the year ahead. So many amazing meals are going to be made with all this beautiful meat. Packaging up 3 more pot roasts. Just did about 10 dry roasts. All the steak. And we are at the point in the day where all I can do is dream about a hot bath or shower. It's the only thing keeping me going at this point. I'm tired and chilled, probably from being here in the garage. Got it down to a system now. I'm getting exhausted. We are in a very busy stage of life right now, having a 1-year-old all the way up to a 15-year-old. You may hear me saying I'm tired, but it's a blessing to be tired. I'm so grateful to have all these different things to keep us busy. Day 2 of moose processing is come to an end. I am going to go take a hot shower. Mark's going to get the rest of the meat that we've packaged up into the freezer. Everybody's just ready to veg for a few minutes. We're all really tired. It's about 8:30, which is earlier than we usually stop, but we're just tired. So we're going to call it a night, and then I think we have 1 more day of processing.
Well, it's day 3, and the end is in sight. I'm working on our steaks. Here we have flank steak, tenderloin, another flank steak, and in here I've got the loins. Right now we're just trying to trim up any excess fat and make sure these are ready to package up. Now we're working on the loin. The loin is huge on a moose like this. Oh, maybe I can get it out. Oh, actually, this is only half of it because it was too big to deal with in the field. I always want to take my time and do a good job with the loin because this is what you would buy at the store for like a New York strip steak or your filet mignon, those just like prime cuts. And you know, just like in a cow, for a moose, these are, it's delicious. And so you want to take your time here. These are New York strip steaks. Each of these just awesome. This is a really big bowl that Bennett shot, and so these are about twice as big as the ones we got last year. So we finished the first loin, all the flank steaks, and now we have the last loin, and you can just see how big this thing is. I mean, this thing weighs like 40 pounds or something here. All of our steak bags have been cut up, and these first 2 are New York steak strips. on this tray right here. This is the flank steaks and the filet mignon. And then we got more New York steak back there. So Lauren will come out and seal these all up and get them in the freezer. And what that means is one more leg to deal with, and then we will be done. Okay, I'm just gonna lift it. You can get that string. The nail's held, thankfully. It's true. Okay, good call, Hunter. All right, last one. Fall is in the air. So many leaves around. Not many leaves left on the trees. Every time I go by, I get a look at these horns.
Final leg coming in. You're amazing, hon.
Oh, final one.
Whew. One of my favorite parts about processing the meat is that it gives us a lot of time to talk. The boys finally told me their stories about shooting their moose, and we just had a lot of good conversation.
All the meats disappear, we just have to package it. We got these steaks and that ground meat, and then we're done.
All right, they're cleaning up the kitchen upstairs, but we've got all these to package. Mark's gonna tell me what everything is. I'm tired of washing my hands 1,000,001 times, so put on gloves and a jacket because it's chilly here in the garage, but this is gonna be the end of it.
This is New York steak or loin. So is this, okay, most of this. I'll do these first and I can sort it. These are tenderloins right here, or filet mignon, all of this. And we may just want like big ones, and then these are flank steaks. I can cut them in half, or we can have this really big flank steak. And
that's huge.
I know. So 2 flank steaks.
I think we should cut those to make 4.
These are all loin. Yeah.
So do I need to label it loin?
Yes, label it loin.
All of this?
Pretty much all of it. There's a few.
That's just a fancier, nicer steak cut than like a round or a tri-tip.
It's got a little bit more fat in it, and it's a little bit more tender.
Okay, and more. It just keeps going.
This is tri-tip, and this is like bits of tenderloin. Just call that's tri-tip, and this is just call that tri-tip too.
They look like round.
It's round. It's actually round.
I can see the difference.
Tri-tip's a little bit firmer than other stuff, but the round is softer, and then this is, so you can call that round. And
okay. One of the number one questions that I get is, what does moose meat taste like? And to me, it just tastes like a very lean beef. So we do have to add some fat to it if we want it to stick together for hamburgers and things like that. It doesn't really have a gamey taste to it. I think it's just one of the best tasting meats I've ever had, and that's coming from somebody who did not grow up eating game meat. 2 trays done. These are some giant steaks. Kids love steak, so these are good. Tray number 3 done. I've lost track of the number, but there's another tray done. Final 5 dry roasts. Got this. This is the MVP. We used to wrap all these up, do them with butcher paper and tape. All the steaks, we sucked the air out with our mouths. So this chamber back has saved so much time. If it was Mark and I that were pulling these things out of the freezer all the time, I could just put like dry roast or steak or loin, so we would know what kind of steak it is. But because the kids often are grabbing stuff, I make sure to write out like Moose 2025 loin steak, so they know, okay, this is steak, and we can kind of explain this is a nicer type of steak, good for grilling as opposed to like throwing in a stir fry. I don't know, maybe it's not necessary, but I do try and put some more information on these. Also, if we end up giving some of these to people, which we sometimes do, then they know exactly what they're getting instead of it just saying like moose, you know. So Mark has the tough task of finding room in the freezers at this point for all this stuff. Whenever I leave Alaska, people always ask me how we survive the long winters. And my answer is we play really hard all summer during the midnight sun, and then fall means hunting and processing season. And we are exhausted by the end of all that and ready for a little bit of dark and relaxation. And there's lots of fun things to do in the winter as well. Final roast. 31. It tells me I did 31 packages.
Oh, it has a number on it?
Of this round.
Yeah.
31. Woo, that feels good. Well, friends, 3 days of really exhausting work to get all this meat processed and ready for the freezer, but it's coming to an end. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready just to enjoy it now. And Mark still has a couple days of putting away supplies and things. This process is not over, but it does feel really good to be at this point. Thank you so much for coming along and spending time with us. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. And we'll see you again real soon for more of This Alaska Life. Moose hunting season 2025.
Put a bow on it. Wrap it up.
Yay.